back to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to hit the download button and subscribe to our podcast where podcasts are available. Welcome back to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. I don't know why I say that because we already have an intro that's pre-recorded, but we don't have to keep saying that. But
Darren, cut it.
Yeah, welcome back. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about a few different things. As you all know, we are still unfortunately dealing with another presidential election. But on the bright side, we had a debate of the vice presidential, We had a debate for the vice presidential race. What am I saying?
The potential vice presidents debated each other.
Thank you. I don't know. My words are all over the place
Words
today.
are hard, girl.
So, what's his name? Pence with the fly and Kamala Harris. We're also going to be talking about the newest update on the Megan Thee Stallion versus Tory Lanez case.
We've all been waiting.
Yes. Also, in the rehab corner, we're going to be talking about mental health and your job, as well as misleading coworkers. And then we'll also be talking about some wonderful things in the social media part of our podcast. So stay tuned, and
You're already here, so just keep listening.
pretty much you already got the views. Thanks. All right. So in this week, on, was it Tuesday, I believe? Because I didn't watch it like live when it happened. I actually watched it later on. Anyway, so Kamala Harris and what is Pence's first name?
Mike, right?
Mike Pence. Is it
That
Mike
sounds
Pence?
good to me.
Joe Pence? No, it's
no,
Mike Pence.
Joe Biden, Mike Pence.
It's definitely Mike Pence.
Michael.
So they had their vice presidential debate this week, which was very interesting. And there was a lot of chatter about it. I think Black Twitter was probably the funniest and gave the most hilarious commentary.
Always.
Basically, Kamala Harris just professionally told Mike Pence to shut the fuck up the whole time.
Shut the fuck up.
She was very much like, Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Shut the fuck up professionally. I'm speaking. Thank you. Thank you very much. And the most interesting part of the whole entire debate, no one remembers anything that these people even talked about. They didn't even really debate anything of their policies, procedures that they plan to put in place. The fly on Mike Pence's head took the show.
His hair is so white.
It is.
If his hair had been any other color,
Yeah.
I swear it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Absolutely. But I think more of the bigger deal was that when does a fly ever just land on you and stay?
It was all that gel. It got stuck.
Well, he was moving around though.
It was hanging on for dear life.
The fly was moving around. And I just, like, a lot of people on social media were going in talking about, this is what happens, when you're just full of shit. Flies just start coming around you. And then all the memes that people put out. I know there was this one little video that they put out with the fly. He had like a little bottle of cranberry juice and he just sitting on top of Mike Pence's head.
Oh, like that guy. Like, what is his name? Big Dog or whatever.
Sweet Dr. Pepper. I think his name is Justin something. He was on American Idol. He turns into a little bite-sized guy for Dr. Pepper. But it was freaking hilarious. But yeah, so basically...
Justin Guarini?
What did I say?
I don't know, but did you watch From Justin to Kelly?
I did watch that movie.
I'm so glad.
One of my sisters was obsessed with Justin Guarini. What? Yeah.
What
was it called? What was the name?
It was called From Justin to Kelly.
No, but I'm saying the guy's name, Justin Guarini. Is that his name?
I'm not telling you again.
Guarini.
Guarini.
Where am I getting Gordini from?
I don't know. Justin Guarini.
Yeah.
2003, great year. From Justin to Kelly.
Yeah. Well,
remember she won and sung A Moment Like This, and she cried. Oh, Kelly.
Yeah, it was lame. Anyway, but yeah, it was pretty funny. But I think the funniest part, even with the fly, piggybacking off of that, Joe Biden and his wonderful pettiness, which I am so appreciative of, he literally started selling fly swatters and they sold out in hours. I was like, thank you, Joe Biden. You have clearly hung out with enough black people
No,
know
he
how
just
to be
hired
petty.
enough millennials on his social media advertising
very
team
true.
that they're like, we got to capitalize.
Well, you know his campaign director or campaign manager is Simone Sanders, and she's a CNN commentator. And first of all, I love her because she knows how to professionally read. So yeah, it was quite funny. But let's go into some of these clips of things that Pence and Senator Kamala Harris were talking about.
I want to add, if, Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I have to
I'm
weigh in.
speaking.
Yeah, you
So
can have
I
15 more
wanna-
seconds, and then we'll give the Vice President
Thank
a
you.
chance to
So I want to add, if, Mr. Vice President.
So I think the moderator was really getting on my nerves for the whole vice presidential debate. She was very one-sided, I felt like. She had no control, as did the other moderator for the presidential debate.
What's a moderator in 2020, you know?
Very true. Well, cut the mic. You should have a soundboard where you can mute their mics.
And we're done.
And we're done. I gave you 2 minutes and you're going over. And she literally allowed him to talk over her the entire time. And just his misogynistic attitude, just like, I have to weigh in. I have to weigh in. Actually, you don't. You can be respectful. And the fact that she had to keep professionally telling you to shut up, you can't have a civilized conversation just like your other counterpart. So there was also one part that the moderator asked about the COVID vaccine and if they would take it, if, you know, there was the vaccine that came out.
It's a no for me, dog.
It's a definite no. So this was Kamala Harris's response to that question.
If the Trump administration approves a vaccine before or after the election, should Americans take it, and would you take it?
If the public health professionals, if Dr. Fauci, if the doctors tell us that we should take it, I'll be the first in line to take it. Absolutely. But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Shout out
Shots
Dr.
fired.
Fauci.
Meow, 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 meow.
You already know how I feel.
But you know what pissed me off through this whole, even just this week, or with the whole vice presidential debate, was how, again, Kamala Harris, even though I am not a fan of hers, let me just be very clear, I'm still going to vote for her regardless. But I don't necessarily like her track record, and that's
Okay, but did you see that picture of her from when she was in her 20s?
yeah, she's beautiful. She's
was
a
hot as
beautiful woman.
fuck.
She's a beautiful woman.
Still beautiful, but I was
Yeah.
just like, wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. So one thing that I didn't like was, of course, I am not a watcher of Fox News. However, because we're doing a podcast, I have to do research. So anyway, I did go on Fox News, and just the amount of hypocrisy that was on this channel, they were just, I just don't think that the debate went very well. I definitely think that Mike Pence won. And Kamala Harris was making all these faces and all these facial expressions. But at the same time on social media, there was somebody that played a clip of the Fox News commentary versus Trump making all these faces and acting like a freaking 2-year-old. I really felt like Kamala Harris really kept her composure and was very professional and was very classy in her responses and how she even handled the disrespect that came from Mike Pence. But of course, she's a black woman. They're going to make her into the angry black woman, even when she was not being. And what was interesting was that
Also, she's the lighter of black women choices for that position, but whatever.
yeah, that's true. Well, even too, Amanda Seals, she posted something that I thought was very wonderful. So yeah, so basically, Amanda Seals, she reposted something in her story that I thought was very relatable. Just piggybacking off of how people are trying to turn Kamala Harris into this angry black woman. There was this young lady, her name is Brittany Johnstone. And she basically put, a lot of white women this morning think they're Senator Harris in the situation we saw last night, when actually we're Susan Page, which was the moderator, failing to hold white men accountable for their actions and failing to use what little institutional power and privilege we have to level the playing field. Now, this is actually a white woman who made this same comment. And I think that was such a timely response to this particular debate, and how there you have this woman that's in this, amazing position politically to be able to, make a difference, being the first Indian / black / Jamaican woman, vice president, and being the first vice presidential candidate of that nature. I lost my train of thought.
She's mixed as fuck is what you're trying to say.
She is mixed.
And I
yes.
appreciate that.
Yes, but I thought that it was a very timely response that this young lady made, because of course people are going to be, oh, it's a male dominated world and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah, but women, when you're in a position of power, you have the opportunity to help another woman who's being disrespected. Like, use your privilege for good. Like, you had the perfect opportunity to take control and
Be
make
like,
this
actually,
debate.
sir, what we're not going to do is speak over this other
Yeah.
candidate when they're having their turn to speak. I agree.
And then at one point, Mike Pence just kept again interrupting Kamala. And then the moderator, Susan Page, says, "Oh, well, you only have about 45 seconds left." She's like, "No, actually, I'm going to take the full time because he interrupted me and you let him keep speaking. Now, as I said professionally, I'm going to finish my whole full time." Like, come on, people. You should understand that you have your responses. You know, you only have a certain amount of time to make your responses. You have a limit. 2 minutes, call it a day. Like,
Yeah.
geez, I know you practiced before you got up on that stage. Come on. So, yeah. But anyway.
No, they're saying like when white women see a colored woman in the spotlight, they're like, yes, girls support you.
Yeah.
But when she comes across adversity, they're not doing the things they
No.
could do to help to push her along. I see
Exactly.
what you're saying.
They're very much so just, well, you know, I just have to make sure that I am in a good space before I make sure you're in a good space. You're already in a good space. You're white. It's like,
There's that one.
exactly.
You know?
It's the white privilege for me. But anyway, so yes. So go ahead and get your Biden fly swatters for those Biden supporters. One thing I cannot wait for is, again, Saturday Night Live, because I'm excited to see how they're going to turn this into comedy, because it's already comical enough. So, yeah. Even too with the presidential debate. So this week as well. So since since Trump, I don't know. So, and I'm not even like liquored up.
I had to drink again this week, y'all. The sober
Yeah.
podcasting was not for me.
Very true. So basically the next presidential debate reportedly will be canceled because, as we all know, Trump was positive for COVID and had a short stay at Walter Reed. And
Okay. Are you going to talk about how he doesn't want to do, I was going to say he doesn't want to do politics anymore. He doesn't want to do debates anymore.
yes, because they won't be in person. And so Joe Biden, who is a smart man, who's like, listen, dude, I'm an old guy. Okay. I'm still at risk I'm a high population risk, and I don't want you to be spitting out on me and have all your particles going everywhere. So we need to do it via like a Zoom kind of situation. And of course, Trump is, being a 2-year-old and saying that, no, I am not going to participate in a Zoom presidential debate. So
Even if this was like, Darren, please cut the pauses. I can formulate thoughts. It just takes me a second. Even if this was a calculated move,
Right.
on Joe Biden's part, it's still founded because coronavirus.
dude, you and like 22 staff members of the White House have now tested positive since Trump has tested positive. Like,
If there's anything
what?
we know, the shit A is contagious as fuck, right?
Yeah.
But B, you don't know how it's gonna affect you. You could just have a cold. You could just feel like you have the flu. You could end up on a ventilator in 2 weeks, and that's just scary.
Exactly.
And so yeah, having your mask on is cool. Like we know that does a lot, but
Right.
like not have you. We still don't know a lot about it. So
Yeah.
it's completely understandable that they'd be like, hey, like everything else in this country, we're going online.
yeah. But even like, I mean, just with the recklessness of Trump, the fact that you got out of Walter Reed and instead of you taking your dumb ass home, you decide, I want to drive by the protesters and take my mask off and let them know and show them that, I'm doing perfectly fine because I took hydroxychloroquine and I drunk disinfectant. And you literally put your staff at risk who are driving with you in this car when in any other American or any other, person who is tested positive for coronavirus and sent home by their hospital, they would be instructed to quarantine and get their behinds home. But no, you wanted to stand on the balcony with no mask on and wave to the people, look like you were just struggling to breathe. And I was like, he probably got a hit of high flow before he came out there.
You can, I understand that you're standing on a balcony.
Yeah.
You're away from these people. Will they probably get infected? No. But the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of people in America whose family members have died from this, and
Yeah.
you get to go and stand out there and just be, you know what I mean? They don't have access to the things you do. They're dying. People are dying. I don't fuck with coronavirus right now.
But the thing is, he even made a comment, was like, I had the virus, don't let it take over your life.
That's so
It's
disrespectful.
killing people.
We have I have family members who have COVID right now. We're in the
Seriously.
ICU.
I mean, we just had patients die this week from COVID. Get people getting their limbs chopped off. because they're going into, cardiac failure and are on all these pressors and their limbs are becoming necrotic and they're getting multiple amputations and you're out here just don't let it take over your life.
Do I think you should live your life in fear? No. Do I think you should have a healthy
Don't be
amount of
ignorant either.
fear against coronavirus? Yes. Wear the mask. Stay away from large crowds.
Right.
Still live your life and just know you may get it or you may not, and you don't know how it's going to affect you. I agree, but there you can have a little bit of fear around it.
Exactly. And my thing is, are you trying to kill Joe Biden? Because why are you getting so mad that he don't want to be around you right now?
He's like, yeah, he's a pussy. Come on,
He's like,
kiss
oh,
me.
he's like, Joe, just come on, let me spit a couple of speckles on you.
He's like a real president of the United States would kiss me on the lips.
I can knock out my competition. That's literally what he's trying to do. It's so stupid.
Y'all are both old as fuck. I just hate.
You know what I'm getting tired of? Even more than these debates, I am getting sick and tired of these stupid people who are text messaging me talking about, hey, Monica, it's Brian from
Are you
so-and-so.
registered to vote?
But my thing is, it's from I still have my Florida number because I refuse to give it up. So it's people are just like, oh, are you voting in such and such county in Florida? I'm not a resident.
My favorite is, can we count on your vote? And I was like, you can't count on shit for me. Who knows what I'll be doing that day or what'll happen?
So
no,
here's
it's
what
not
I've been
guaranteed.
doing. Here's what I've been doing.
Oh, y'all, she gets real.
So
she gets angry.
I've been copying their text message and sending it back to them and then block them so they can't respond.
I was gonna say, do they respond?
No, because I blocked them. But I did. There was a couple in the very beginning that I did say, I am no longer a Florida resident. This is not Monica. Just telling them. And I'm like, please remove my number from your list. And they're like, oh, thank you so much for letting us know. But just be aware that you may get some other text messages from other people.
How do they get my number?
They just go down the yellow pages. I mean, the white pages.
The white
pages. You've never heard of the white pages?
No, I have, but I didn't know they were real.
They still have white pages.
We still have the white pages?
They're still phone books. Yes.
They're still. You get it? No.
I have a phone book in
I
my
don't
thing
believe
right
it. Where
now.
the fuck do you get a phone book from?
I don't know. They just show up on my doorstep every year.
No, they do not. That's such a waste of paper.
It is, but I have
No
one.
one uses that. And it's a yellow pages.
Yeah, because they condense it
like
now.
you can flip through. The only thing I ever looked for was Pizza Hut, but you can flip through and you can find the Pizza Hut.
Yes, they condense it now.
Dude.
So it's the white pages in the front and the yellow pages in the back.
It's all the same book?
Yeah, because they're not as big as they used to be.
No, the yellow pages was like a thick ass book.
Yeah.
It's not that.
It's not as thick anymore.
Not thick with two C's?
Because even too, a lot of people don't have house phones anymore.
I don't have a house phone.
I don't either.
I never did. We were too poor.
When I first got my internet and cable package, which I no longer have cable, but they were like, oh yeah, it comes with a house phone. Like we'll throw a house phone in for free. I didn't go to Walmart and buy a house phone. I don't want you calling my house phone for what? So then when I would watch TV or whatever and like a telemarketer or something would call, it would come through my TV and say, oh, so-and-so is trying to call you. I don't have the house phone to pick it up.
When I was growing up, only rich people had house phones.
I mean, my mom still has the same number that she had the day her and my dad got married and moved into their house. They got married on a Friday and closed on their house and moved in on a Saturday.
That's wild.
Yeah, and they've had the same phone number.
I've had the same number since 5th grade when my mom got me a phone because I told her everyone in 5th grade had a cell phone and I felt left out.
Yeah,
because I was the only black kid and I didn't have a phone. And
so you just
lied and then,
that's on racial injustice.
Yeah, that's on lying to my mom because no one had a cell phone.
Yeah.
And then I was the first in my class with a cell phone. So like, fuck you. Yeah, I'm black, but I have a phone and you don't.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Anytime my mom doesn't answer her cell phone, I just call the house phone.
Wild.
Which she usually ignores because she always answers her house phone.
Because who calls the house phone?
Exactly. Telemarketers.
Yeah.
Bill collectors. So yeah.
The government.
Pretty much. I mean, well, they can kind of see you through your phone anyway because Big Brother's always watching and listening. So you got that front-facing camera. Your selfie camera is pretty much there looking at you. Next on the list that we're going to talk about.
The docket.
On the docket. So Tory Lanez has officially been charged with assault. The assault and the shooting of
the semi-automatic firearm, ladies and gentlemen.
Didn't I say it was a semi-automatic? I said that. Mm-hmm. I definitely said that.
I need to tell you. Do you know it's max 22 years in prison? He's probably not going to get it.
Max what?
Max 22 years in prison.
Oh, yes.
But do you know what his real name is?
No.
Daystar Peterson.
No, it's not.
Daystar Peterson. There's two names in the middle. We're not going to discuss them. They're not important. Daystar Peterson.
His government name, like on his birth certificate,
when
is
he
Daystar.
files taxes, it says Daystar Peterson, and he changed it to Tory Lanez with a Z.
I would think your government name would be Tory Peterson, and then you would change your name to stage name to Daystar.
His name is Daystar.
That is insane.
It sounds like a Christian news channel.
It sounds like a bite off of BET Star Power.
It's Monday morning and you're listening to Daystar.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
His name is Daystar. I'm not over it. And he shot the queen
Yeah,
with
he
a
did.
semi-automatic weapon, and he's facing 22 years in prison. And you know what? I would never wish prison on a black man, but I do wish justice on Megan Thee Stallion. So what's got to happen? It's got to happen.
Absolutely.
Pass that on that.
Absolutely. So he definitely he was charged. Oh, okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. Darren cut that. So yeah, he's been officially charged with assaulting Megan Thee Stallion. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office announced he's facing, like you said, one felony count each of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, personal use of a firearm, and carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle.
If there's one thing I wouldn't want to be, it's a black man facing the LAPD. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it'd be worse if he were in Florida, because Florida has that, you shoot a firearm, 10-20 life, and that's it, no questions asked. So he's lucky. Oh, so basically too, Tory Lanez actually posted he responded to the news of his charging of assault. Dang it, I just lost it. Oh, there we go. So he wanted to use emojis, which I hate when people do that. Just freaking type it out. Anyway, time will tell and the truth will come to the light. I have all faith in God to show that. Love to all my fans and people that have stayed true to me and know my heart. A charge is not a conviction. If you have supported me or Meg through this, I genuinely appreciate you. First of all, don't be saying me and Meg like y'all
Don't
just...
bring me into this shit.
Right.
Also, honest, truly innocent people don't send emails that look like they're from Meg Thee Stallion's camp trying to fucking, what is the word I'm looking for?
Like y'all cool?
Not disenfranchise. Darren, cut all this. Words are hard.
Disenfranchised.
I've been drinking.
What?
When you try to make someone look like what they're saying is not right.
Trying to discredit them?
Wow, you're so good at this. We should play this game more often. Don't send emails like they look like they're from Meg Thee Stallion's camp trying to discredit her. Don't put out a whole fucking song
Exactly.
dissing her because
And
that's not
disrespecting other black women too.
Yeah, it's
so counterproductive to your case.
remember that time that Pusha T put out that whole diss track about Drake and he was like, I can't even release mine. It would be too bad. And we all knew that he was lying, but now we're like, well,
Maybe.
we'll never know because he never said anything.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. I think when Pusha T revealed that he had a son, that was pretty much the nail in the coffin. It was like, anything else you say to him, it's not going to be as bad as releasing that. You have a whole son.
You got a whole baby after you're like, I'm never going to have a baby out of wedlock because my mama did that to me.
Right. And then he had to come with a whole, I wasn't trying to hide the world from you. I was trying to hide the world from the Lord. From
You from the world. We're like, all right, dude, your kid's white.
Yeah. We were just
He's
like,
got a blonde afro.
it was like the next day. You see all these pictures of kids in college. Like, what the heck? I was like, dang, Pusha T.
Daystar, loose
Yeah.
lips sink ships. Loose lips sink ships.
Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. Yeah, that's what happens. The truth will out.
I mean, but
As
the thing
Dumbledore
is,
says.
if they charge you with something, I mean, okay, let's go back to Law and Order. Okay.
Doom doom.
Right. There are a lot of times where in Law and Order, they charge someone. It's because they have enough evidence that links you to said crime, sir.
Welcome to the podcast where we base our reality on
TV shows.
Because fictional TV
art
shows.
depicts life. Just saying. So yeah, I just can't
Daystar.
believe
I'm
that
only
he.
calling him Daystar from now on.
Yeah, it's so weird. Daystar. Why would you name your child?
I swear there is something named Daystar. I'm looking it up now. Why does that feel so familiar to me? Is it like a
Daystar?
cafeteria food or a channel, a Christian religious channel?
Daystar. Because you know what, people, I saw stuff on social media where it kept saying something about Daystar, and I was like, is that the name of his album or diss track or something? I didn't know what the heck it was.
Daystar is Christian videos and live television featuring popular pastors like Joel Osteen, Joyce Meyer, and Joseph Prince. My mom loves Joseph Prince. That's why I know Daystar. The guy from the Philippines,
Yes, I like his hair.
He goes, amen. What does my mom always say? She's like, amen, amen. That's all he says.
I can't.
Church, amen, amen.
I cannot. All right, so
He's named after a TV station. What if my name was Disney Channel? Would you talk to me? I wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
clearly Daystar is very lethal because he shot Megan in the foot.
What's up, Nickelodeon? How you doing?
I can't with you. All right, so
Early morning.
also in I guess, current events. Unfortunately, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend lost their baby. That was horrible. She revealed through her Twitter, and she was kind of giving a play-by-play that, she had been bleeding and she was in the hospital, but that her and the baby were fine. And then she kind of came back on and revealed to the world pretty much that they had lost their son. And she said that they had been calling him Jack for some odd reason. They just, ever since she found out that she was pregnant, or that she found out it was a boy, they just kept calling him just Jack, just name. Randomly. And so there were, some photos where she was getting like, I believe she was sitting on like the side of a table, like the OR table or something like that. I don't know if she was getting an epidural or not. But and then there were other pictures where they were holding the baby and they were crying. Let's say some prayers for John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. But I just feel like that was a very personal moment that probably should not have been shared.
I feel like people are 50-50. Like, I've heard half the people being like, that was so weird and inappropriate, and I don't think she should have shared that. And then the other half of people are like, that could probably benefit a specific group of people. I
agree.
And she's so open online. That's why she shared this, and that's how some people cope, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. I don't know how people all do different things to make themselves feel spiritually fulfilled, and I'm not trying to police that.
Right.
But I think she is so open on social media, and she had been like live tweeting the whole thing and kind of left people hanging. And I think she was just like, I'm just going to let it all out there.
I just wonder though how that, I know she's a very transparent person, and she's very open with her fans and with her supporters. I just don't know that happening in real time, like sharing it as it's happening in real time. Like, do you even have time to process that yourself? Like, it'd have been one thing if you would have just been like, you tweeted out, unfortunately, we've lost our baby boy. Please keep us in your prayers. Please respect our privacy. Please respect our timing, and we will talk about it when we're ready. But the fact that you are actively grieving, and then whomever is taking the photos and then pouring out this very vulnerable moment. Like, I definitely know that that's going to help a lot of people. And I think a lot of her fans can probably help her out as well too, because they may have gone through that. And obviously they're not, in the limelight, but I think it's definitely a helpful thing for people, but I just don't know the timing of it. It's just like, that's very raw and right in your face in that same moment. Like, your baby just died and you're sharing it with the world at the same time, and you have no time to even take pause and grieve.
Maybe it's like a professor front loading the class, like all your assignments at the beginning and you just rush through, and then at the end you have time to think about it. Or maybe she was like, I'm going to have to leave this hospital, and there's going to be paparazzi outside, and I'm not going to have a baby, and I'm going to have to explain why.
And she did tweet that too. She did say, it's so weird leaving a hospital, like going in pregnant and coming out without a baby. Like,
and can you imagine people taking pictures of it and being like, what's going on? And instead of dealing with all that, she's just like, listen, here it is. This is what happened. This is how I feel about it. Yeah. These are pictures we took. I don't know. She also seems like a very quirky person. I don't know. I also haven't been through it. I don't know what it feels like to lose a baby. That seems really fucking hard.
She seems like a very dark humor type person. Not that she thought that any of that was humorous. Obviously not. But I think, almost kind of like Meredith Grey. Like, you're a Grey's Anatomy fan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you know how Meredith Grey, so many bad things happen. She's just like, you just roll with the punches. Like,
she was drinking some tequila and dances in the living room.
Right. Like, she was just, Owen got shot, and then she was literally having a miscarriage. And at the same time, she actively knows she's having a miscarriage, but she just focuses on something else. Like, I kind of feel like Chrissy Teigen is kind of like that. Yeah. Just in the moment. But, prayers up for John Legend and Chrissy Teigen and all their family during this difficult time, and praying that she takes the time that she needs to heal and to really grieve and mourn the loss of their child.
That's so fucked up.
It's just
to
horrible.
Have two, but like, you make these two full babies. Yeah. Your body's capable of making two full babies, and you get to this point, and then your body's like,
yeah, exactly.
Dude, the human body is a messed up place.
It's
childbirth,
and to go through it publicly.
It's the childbirth for me.
Yeah. Childbirth is a beautiful thing, though. I saw my best friend have my godson, and even though I had seen births before by working in, postpartum labor and delivery and stuff like that, I had seen people, kids being born before, but it's different when you know the person and you get to see their strength. Like, my best friend and I have been best friends since the second grade. And she has definitely been like this person who's just like, oh, that's just Larissa. That's just Larissa, whatever. But to see her in this different light and have this strength to literally bring forth a whole human being, it was just like,
to push out a freaking pumpkin from a puss. You know what
Okay, I made it sound a lot more pleasant.
You did, but that's what it was, and here I am. And
but no, it definitely made me see a different side of her strength. I mean, she was already a strong woman anyway, but that definitely put, I think, other things in perspective. That, oh my gosh, this girl like is like a superhuman. Like, you grow this baby and you push him out. I mean, it's insane, and it's you know. So again, prayers up for John Legend and Chrissy Teigen.
Wait, so your best friends' names are Larissa and Alyssa?
Okay, one of my best friend's name is Larissa, but you're not.
And your other best friend's name is Yo, that's crazy. She got a type.
You're so silly.
That's wild.
But what if it were Larissa, Alyssa, and Marissa?
Yeah. Marissa, if you're listening,
shout out to
you.
Who happens to be a twin whose name does not have any S's in it?
Yikes.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the rehab corner.
All right,
where are we?
Yeah, I'm sure you want to talk about rehab. You want to talk about Instagram, pop culture.
Let's talk about pop culture first.
Let's talk about something fun. Let me tell you what's popping off on Instagram this week.
Ooh,
okay,
can't wait.
We'll start our flight. Uno, ever played it?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say uno, dos, tres, cuatro, what? My name is Monica T. I'm so and fine. I'll blow your mind. Woo! Okay, sorry. We cannot stay on topic today. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. But yeah, that was good. I've never heard that before.
It's an 80s thing, but okay.
Uno, the game, ever played it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, did you see them tweet out that you can't play a draw two on a draw two?
I did see that.
Dude, is that fucked up?
That's a lie. Uno, you need to take that back. That is a lie.
Like, that's how you get people.
Exactly.
Oh, you fucked me over. Here we go. Draw two, skip, reverse, draw two,
exactly.
draw two, reverse,
Uno,
reverse.
and I'm out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't like whoever's tweeting for Uno. I don't think they're real. They need to stop that.
Yeah, I'm gonna contact social media team. We gotta.
You absolutely can put two draw twos on top of each other.
Hell yeah.
And you can put two draw fours on top of each other too.
Yes, you can. Because you know what? They're matching fucking cards.
That's right. Draw 8, bitch.
And I'm upset. And now I'm thinking about my whole peds rotation, and I taught those kids how to play Uno. They're playing the right. No, they're playing the right.
That's very
way.
true. Just stop trying to change the rules. Like, stop. Like, that's not what the instructions even say.
As a cult, they probably do.
They probably do this.
As a culture, we've all agreed that you can play draw twos on draw twos, wilds on wilds, draw fours on draw fours,
and skips on skips.
Skips on skips on skips.
And you can do reverses on reverses. Now you can't double like your 2s and your 6s and your 7s, like all your other numbers. But if you want to tag somebody's ass, you can definitely double up on it.
Yeah.
Because I skip you twice, sucker.
Skip.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the first thing that pissed me off this week.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Uno.
The family you don't care about? Kardashians. Did you see all the stuff that happened in the latest episode?
No, I did not.
Okay, Kendall and Kylie get in a fight. They're screaming at each other. You didn't see any of the clips.
Wait, are you sure this is not Courtney and Kim? Because they fought too, right?
I'm positive. Everyone fights.
Oh, well, they're sisters. I fight with my sisters
REM
too.
said everybody hurts, but in this family, everybody fights.
Well, because they're sisters. You can't not fight with sisters.
So
I have 3 of them.
They all go to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Lovely place. I've never been, but I hear good things.
Yeah.
All right.
Pictures are great.
They're all supposed to chill, shoot the shit, be a little family unit. Cool. They all decide to go out. Kendall's pissed because she's like, I only brought a bathing suit and a big t-shirt. What am I supposed to go out in? Courtney's like, you can borrow one of my cute ass outfits, whatever.
Yeah.
Kylie steals the outfit.
Oh, gosh.
Because Kylie's the everyone know Kylie's the youngest. Kylie's the favorite. Kylie's the billionaire.
Well, she can afford to go buy her own dress.
But she didn't. So it's fine.
Okay.
Kylie wears the outfit Kendall wants to wear. Kendall's already pissed.
Yeah.
So Kendall has to get something else. They already start this little tiff at the house. Kylie starts getting drunk because she's like, fuck you. You're a shitty sister. How are you going to yell at me for looking hot?
Right.
They all go to dinner. They have an okay time. And that's when the soundbite comes out that Kylie's like, I'm going to have another cup of 1942. Courtney, what the fuck are you on? Have you heard it?
No.
She's just drunk. Okay. She's living her life. She's having a good time. What is she, like 23? I can't relate. They all decide to go to a drag bar afterwards.
Okay.
Kendall stays in the car. Exactly. She's like, I'm tired, not having a good time. I'm going to sleep in here.
Yeah.
Okay. They all come out of the drag bar after having a good night. Kylie's fucked up. Kylie, Corey Gamble, Chris's boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, black bald guy.
Yeah.
And Kendall. They're all in an Escalade together. Mm-hmm. The other sisters and Chris are in another Escalade because they're going back to Palm Springs. The other ones are going back to LA.
Gotcha.
Because we're in California, so we can just like bop between cities.
Right.
Cool. So they call, you just hear, basically on the clip, you just see the car with Chris and Kim and all of them. Mm-hmm. And it's just Kendall and Kylie screaming at each other.
Oh, God.
And basically Kendall was like, should I put my address and should I tell him to go to my house? Mm-hmm. And Kylie was like, I'm not driving, because I guess Kylie lives in Calabasas. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I'm not driving all the way to the city to take you home and then coming back. Sister shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. They start fighting, like hitting each other and shit. And they leave Kendall on the side of the street. Kendall's dramatic as fuck because I guess Corey had been like, do you want me to call you another Escalade to take you home? And she's like, I'm not getting in an Escalade by myself, you asshole. Are you fucking stupid? They leave her on the side of the road. The other car picks her up.
The fact that a grown man would leave this girl outside, like...
Dude, so it's a bunch of weird shit.
Wow.
So basically, like, because supposedly Kendall is saying that Corey, who's Chris's boyfriend, was like, fuck you, like, get whatever. And Kylie was like, Corey never said that, yada, yada, yada. But Kendall was like, I'm stone cold sober. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, but...
What are they, hunching or something?
I don't know, but everyone knows Kendall's dramatic, and Kylie's a bitch, and Corey's just trying to fuck Chris and get TV
money
time. So who knows what happened? There's so much drama.
Yeah, that sounds like, first of all, anytime sisters fight, just stay out of it. Me and my sisters, if we spend too much time together, we will fight. Especially me and my older sister. And now with my nephew in the mix, it's like, okay, I can ignore you and just focus on my nephew. Like, I'm totally okay with that. But if we spend too much time together, we fight. We're going to get over it at some point. Like, we're going to get over it. Just don't jump in. Because if you jump in, now you're going to create an enemy out of both of us.
But it's like, now the negativity's on you.
Exactly.
So I'm like, Corey, stay
out of it. Don't ever get in a fight between sisters, because as soon as you do that, they're both going to gang up on you. So just don't.
Corey knew whose team to pick, and it was the billionaires.
Well, because he's all about money. That's very clear. This is why he walks around with a damn man purse.
But anyway, yeah, that's what happened. Isn't that crazy?
That sounds
probably
like
not to you, but like to be rich, you know.
I was gonna say, but even if you're wealthy though, like you don't have sisters, so you don't understand that life.
No.
Yeah, but I do.
My brother would never.
Yeah, me and my sisters. I remember when my dad actually died, the week that we were having his funeral. I was taking my hair out because I had braids, and me and my older sister literally got into it, and then one of my other sisters jumped in, and I just went off on both of them, and I was like, just shut up forever.
Wow.
Please shut up forever. And then we were fine by like, but I want to preface this by saying I had just gotten a wisdom tooth taken out.
I want to preface this by saying I was in pain.
I literally drove. We drove from Atlanta. Drugs. I was living in Atlanta at the time. We literally drove from Atlanta all the way to Fort Lauderdale in the middle of the night, and we didn't get there till like 4:00 in the morning. And my tooth was like on fire because I had already called into work the day before. Not the day before. Oh yeah, I was supposed to go to work that Saturday. And then Sunday was my dad passed, unfortunately. And Sunday, that same day, we drove down. And it was just, I got a wisdom tooth pulled. And I was just like, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. I'm cussing out everybody. I'm not. And my daddy just died. Oh, no. I'm cussing out everybody. Which is what I did. So.
Damn, no. I could cuss out my brother and he'll still be like, oh, like, okay, shit.
Oh, it's because he's a guy.
I know.
Yeah, they get over stuff real fast.
They do. It's great.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't know what it's like. I don't fucking know.
I mean, I used to not, like, sometimes I wish I was an only child to a degree. But I wish I had more brothers and sisters, because sisters are just catty. We're catty for no reason. Even when you're an adult, you're still going to be catty. It's just in you. So, it's fine. What else is going on in social media?
Leanie. That's my mom's nickname. That's why I said that. Love you, Mom. Nini's opening the Lenithia Lounge. Did you hear about it?
Yes,
in Atlanta.
I did.
That's why she's not coming back for season, 13 of Housewives?
Probably. I know it's in the double digits at this point.
Double digits.
Yeah.
She's opening a lot. We have to go.
We're going to have to go.
We have to take the podcast on the road and go to Lenithia Lounge.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I feel like most of them have opened up some type of business like that. Like,
yes, and Candy opened up something.
Candy has an old lady gang. I think she has like 3 locations now, 2 or 3 locations. Mm-hmm. And then Cynthia has the Bailey wine cellar. Who doesn't know anything about wine? That's not my words. That's literally what Kenya said. Anyway. And then Peter, he had several restaurants and different lounges, I think in North Carolina and in Atlanta. And now Lenithia with Lenithia Lounge. I like that she's using her real government name.
Lenithia, 2 N's. You heard it here first.
I like that she's using her government name.
I like that it's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, but the Lenithia Lounge in Atlanta.
I wonder if it's going to be like a hookah bar or something.
I think it's a restaurant lounge.
So it's just a restaurant.
It's just
What's the difference between a restaurant and a lounge? Lounges serve food too, right?
I thought a lounge was drinks.
So it's a bar.
I thought so maybe it's a restaurant bar, but like with like tufted boots.
Jones Restaurant and Tapestry. Remember that from Girlfriends?
No.
Okay, never mind.
You're not a watch Girlfriends like that. Oh I'm under 30. So
you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace.
I'm thinking for Lenithia Lounge, like food, but also like tufted velvet booths and dim lighting. You know,
definitely to set you in the mood. Yeah,
yeah.
Put you in a nice, sophisticated, mature.
No
mood.
white refrigerators.
Oh God, no.
No white microwave.
People still doing that?
No, but she hates that.
Stainless steel, everything. Even if you do have a white microwave or a refrigerator, please go on Amazon and get the paper stuff that you can put over it to make it look like it's stainless steel.
There's what?
Yeah, there's like little adhesive that you can put on there. I saw this lady on TikTok do it.
In the ghetto.
Well, Lenithia stays out of there.
That's some ghetto shit.
The ghetto. The ghetto.
You want to make your white microwave look stainless steel by putting a sticker on it?
Yeah, but some people do it and it looks very professional.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to look into it. We have a white microwave.
Oh, is that why you said it?
Don't clock me. Yeah.
Listen, I only have stainless steel because it came with my house.
There you go.
That shouts out to the builder's warranty.
All right. The Islamic community was coming for Rihanna because in the Savage Fenty show,
what happened?
She used this soundbite from a song, and it was it's like a Islamic hadith, if I'm saying that right, which is basically like the Prophet Muhammad's words, and it's forbidden to use that. I don't know, inappropriately.
Yeah, because you're only supposed to use it in a prayer or what?
Yeah, or, where it's supposed to, like, religiously. And she fucking put it to some dubstep.
Yeah.
And they were like, honey, this ain't it.
Wow. Who was on her team that did that, though?
I don't know, but I think, like, it was a soundbite of another song. Yeah. So she just took it and they remixed it and mastered it for the show.
Yeah. Because, Rihanna's she's a lover, and she is... lover of all things, all people, super inclusive. So I definitely don't see her doing that, purposefully. That was definitely
also,
an oversight.
Wasn't your last boyfriend Middle Eastern?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you know the sacred prayers.
I know, but I'm just like, I don't know.
My aunt's Muslim. I don't know any sacred Muslim prayers, Islamic prayers, nothing. I mean, and she used to wear her is it a hijab? Yes.
Hijab's the headpiece. A burqa's the whole
she used to wear the whole spiel. Like,
I think that's a burqa.
Yeah, she doesn't wear it as much. I think when she goes to is it called temple? When she goes to prayer to church, she wears
her time with the Lord.
Right.
Well, it was the apology for me because I think the Rihanna apology should be like the standard form of apology.
On question, she said something very eloquent and very apologetic.
You can be sure as shit that she just like accepted responsibility and apologized. Yeah. I'm read you what she said.
Okay, what did she say?
This is from her camp.
Okay.
From Rihanna herself.
Yeah.
Bad girl Ruby.
Okay.
I'd like to thank the Muslim community for pointing out a huge oversight that was unintentionally offensive in our Savage X Fenty show. I would more importantly like to apologize to you for this honest yet careless mistake. We understand that we have hurt many of our Muslim brothers and sisters, and I'm incredibly disheartened by this ! I do not play with any kind of disrespect towards God or any religion, and therefore the use of the song in our project was completely irresponsible. Moving forward, we will make sure nothing like this ever happens again. Thank you for your forgiveness and understanding. I need every company, celebrity, person with a brain and a heart to take note of that. That's all you need to freaking do.
Exactly. And because she meant that, like, wholeheartedly.
But all you need to do is like, hey, I did this. I didn't understand how fucked up it was, but it was fucked up. I apologize. Absolutely. Won't happen again, y'all.
Absolutely.
That's it. Why is that so hard for everybody?
That and because again, Rihanna is not a person for scandal like that. She is very respectful, very open.
She's a Pisces.
Not the fact that she was raised right. No, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Just because she's a Pisces. She's awesome. Emotional. So, and that's on the astrological science. Awesome. But yeah, I think that sucks. I think that I think people know that Rihanna is not that type of person to do something purposefully harming to a group of people because she is so inclusive and is so.
I think she just thought it was a banger, and it was.
She probably, and
it's also insensitive.
But see, this is why you got to be very careful when you do like with music, with sound bites and stuff like that. Even okay, so I don't know that you remember this song. So Missy Elliott came out with "Get Your Freak On," right? Remember that song?
Get your freak on.
So in the beginning of the song, and hopefully this is not something
that your shit. People you know.
Okay.
You know?
She just did a dance and it's really weird. But in the beginning of the song, there's a guy that comes on in the beginning. My best friend and I learned what he said. The man says, Kore karamina de mechekcho dote sawago. That's literally what he says. I don't know what he's saying. So if that is something offensive, I apologize right now.
What the fuck did you just say?
But it sounds,
she cursed me and my family, my godchildren.
But it sounds so cool when he says it in the beginning of the song. And then she's like, head bingo. And it was like, we got to learn that. So, but you have to be so very careful when you are a celebrity or not even a celebrity, but just using words that you don't know. Like even in Spanish. I remember one time I said something in Spanish to one of my coworkers and I was like, and I was trying to say one word, but I guess I ended up saying the word bitch in Spanish. And I was
Puta?
like,
no, that's what.
Yeah, but I said something else.
Perita?
No, it was bitch in Spanish, which is punta.
Is it puta?
Yeah, because there's a grandfather and a Hispanic grandfather and granddaughter that are on TikTok that are very famous. And he's always saying like the word for idiot. What is idiot in Spanish?
Idiota?
No, it's
Cabrona?
No, it starts with a P.
Puta? Is puta?
But
Puta's
isn't that
kind of
bitch?
fucked up. Puta's kind of fucked up.
No, but that's what does bitch mean in Spanish? I mean, how do you say bitch in Spanish?
Well, like perita is like female dog.
No, it's when they say idiot, because he's calling her an idiot in Spanish.
Puta's like I thought puta was like slut, fucker, prostitute. Let me see. We need.
It's not punta because punta is bitch, right?
I apologize to the Spanish community. Idiot is idiota.
No, it's another.
Tonta, estúpida.
No, it's another word that he calls her all the time. He's always like
loca, bomba.
It starts with a P, and I thought it was that, and I was just like, so what does that mean? And so she told me, she was like, oh God, never say that, and I was like, oh okay, never mind. So yeah, you just have to be very careful when you're saying stuff in other languages. So again, if that Missy Elliott soundbite that I just said perfectly, that is offensive, I do apologize because I don't know what that.
But
means.
I feel like in the 90s, you didn't have the internet like you did now, so you could say offensive shit. Not that you meant to say offensive shit, but you could say things that wouldn't necessarily be okay now, and they would fly just because there wasn't such a push for inclusivity and understanding like there is now. But now when you say shit, people are like, you should know better, you should know the history, you should be aware. There's this whole group of people who could be offended by that, and they have a voice now because they're on social media. And it's like, at what point, I don't know, it's just that weird thing of like, people aren't trying to hurt people.
Very true.
It's like, so what's the responsibility on you to know what you're putting out and know what it means to certain people? And what's the like line where you're like, all right, that's too much?
Because even with Beyonce, when Beyonce came out with Drunken Love, and you know how
Love. Cut it, please, Darren. Cut that. It came out of nowhere.
I am definitely keeping it in the podcast.
Darren, cut it.
I am keeping it. I'm keeping it just because you did that.
No, please,
so when she came out with Drunken Love, and you know how the lady's like, right. So some people can say, well, is that like, you know, an Islamic chant, or is that, you know, something that can be offensive, and, you know, all this other kind of stuff. And because you take a sound bite from another song, you don't know what it is, or your producer, or, you know, can take it from a song and you're just like, oh my God, that sounds great. So it's like
innocently
because you're not the one who made the beat. Like, you're not the one who made the song. So somebody comes and brings you something, it's definitely the responsibility on them.
That's what I'm saying. So at what point now before, I don't think the same responsibility applied.
Right.
Like, you just did what you wanted. You could say, even like watching TV, the jokes were different.
Yeah.
The comedy hit different.
Right.
The themes were different, right? Mm-hmm. And now it feels like everyone has this responsibility to like own up to the fucking third degree of what this could potentially mean, or who this could potentially offend. And at what point does that get to be ridiculous?
But I think you also have to understand the intent behind people as well. Like Rihanna, like I said, Rihanna is not a person who is, you know, discriminatory or disrespectful. She is not that type of person. She definitely, and she displays this consistently. I mean, you know, even her stuff that she went through with Chris Brown, she never disrespected him. She was like, don't disrespect him in front of me. Like, that was something that happened. You don't know what actually took place. You were not there, blah, blah, blah. But I think, you know, it's always good to think good intentions of people, that she obviously didn't know what this meant. She just heard it. She thought, this sound great. Let's put it in the show. I definitely, you know, because your juices are going, your creative juices are going. So, you know, I don't think that I think people need to also look behind the intent of people. Now, if you just got a song that's out here, nigga, and you a white dude, and it's just like, What really? That's or saying a Hispanic slur or Native American slur or Asian slur, stuff like that. But if it's in a a totally different language, even too with tattoos, some certain tattoos that people get,
it's always Asian tattoos. You
you don't know what that stuff says. And even too, I love the Polynesian culture. I love their tribal tats. Oh my God, they're beautiful. I personally would never get them because I don't know what that means. I don't understand the history behind it. Even though I think it looks cool and I think it looks great and I would love to have one, I just personally couldn't bring myself to actually get it because I don't understand, the history behind that. And then when I've seen some videos of, Samoan people who are getting the traditional tattoos, they don't use an ink gun. They use a traditional needle and they're literally banging it through your skin. And it's a whole process. It's a whole spiritual kind of, event that happens. So I think, again, people should also, it was great that people told her about it so she wouldn't continue it. But at the same time, think best intentions, that she's not that type of person to, purposefully be malicious in her, delivery of something. So, that was a beautiful apology though, because you can tell she really meant it.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Acknowledge that you fucked up, apologize for it, moving forward. What am I going to do about it?
Change behavior. Don't do it again. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, when does it get annoying that you're like, I didn't mean to fucking do that, but okay, I get it.
Yeah, but I think she has done, that was probably the first misstep she's ever had in her career. Where she said something or done something. I don't
remember anything else.
Yeah, I don't remember anything else that Rihanna has ever done.
Got beat by Chris Brown, but that wasn't her fault. And then she went on Oprah and said she forgave him, that she messed up too.
I don't necessarily say that you can't say that that's not her fault. They had an argument.
I think she bit him and slapped him in the face.
All I'm saying is,
I'm just saying some shit transpired between the two of them.
Exactly.
The world framed it as him beating her ass. He was put on trial by social media.
Yeah. Still is, unfortunately.
Okay, listen, here's what I'm thinking. Follow me on this journey. Mm-hmm. If I'm dating this guy and we're both famous, we get into a fight. I know what I did. I know what he did.
Yeah.
But then when I see it on social media and in the news and shit, they're all going after him, I'd feel bad as shit.
Well, the reason why everybody went after him is because the pictures were released of her face.
And she looked fucked up.
And he put horns on her fucking head. So, and I'm not making light of domestic violence at all. I'm just saying, if the pictures were never released of her face, I think people would have been like, oh, it's just a lover's quarrel. Mm-hmm. Tina Turner and Ike Turner, Bobby and Whitney, whatever. They just had an argument. But when you find out that they got a fight because
when you read the police report,
right, and all of that was. But here's the thing: what I will say. And this is not applicable. This may not be applicable to Chris Brown and Rihanna because, again, people need to stop bringing up that shit because it already happened. She forgave him. He forgave her.
She went on Oprah. She went on Oprah.
Exactly.
She said, I've forgiven him. Y'all have to do.
Moved on. But I do agree that women, stop putting your hands on men and then trying to cry when they beat your ass. That's all I'm saying. Stop putting your hands on men who are scientifically stronger, okay, and can be more aggressive than you, and you try to assert your authority by putting your finger all in their face and mushing them in the face. They got every right to break your whole jaw off your neck.
There is something about testosterone. It's a wild hormone.
Yeah. But stop playing with these men. Stop putting your hands on these men and not expecting them to hit you back. Because if you do that to a female, she has every right. Anybody that you hit has the God-given right to hit your ass back.
You put your finger in my face. As soon as it touches me,
I'm coming for your whole mouth and your jaw to break it completely off your neck.
I'm just saying testosterone builds up in men because they have a lot of it. It builds your muscles up, builds your anger.
They're supposed to be stronger than us, so stop playing with these men.
I'm just saying.
Stop playing with men. Stop hitting on them. You ain't gonna do nothing. Hit me. I call the police. You gonna call the police with a broke jaw. Thank you. And good night.
That's on that. But I'm just saying.
Yes.
In my head, I'm thinking I'm a celebrity. It would never happen. But here we are. I'm imagining. They'd be fucked. I'd be like, hey, everybody, let's calm it on down.
Yeah. Yeah. It's again, Rihanna.
But what Snapchat did was fucked up. Do you remember that?
What?
Do you remember when Snapchat was like Team Rihanna, Team Chris Brown?
Oh yeah, I just think that stuff like that is so stupid. Like
that's why Snapchat was canceled and never got on Instagram stories.
Mind the business that pays you. Nobody was with them but them. They only know the story. Again, things were transpired because I don't even want to talk about this anymore. They have moved on. Chris Brown is over it. Rihanna is over it. Move on, and that's on domestic violence.
All right. Period. Pooh.
All right, so we're gonna go over to the rehab corner. And we rolling to the corner. Welcome to the Rehab Corner, everybody. All right, so in the Rehab Corner, our topic today is your mental health and your job, and also misleading coworkers. We're going to start with the funny first, with the misleading coworkers. I had a patient this week that I guess Alyssa called herself retaliating against me because of a patient that she saw.
Here's the thing. Sometimes you go to see a patient and they are completely A, normal, B, functional, C, independent. So you see them, it's a good day, they're on the up and up. You tell your partner from PT, hey, funny story, I saw that person, totally fine, signed off on them. It's going to be a quick eval, easy thing for you to do. Go ahead and see him. And it doesn't work out that way because people change.
Yeah. I go into this man's room. First of all, he's sitting on the side of the bed with his tray table in front of him. That should have been a sign.
Because he's independent, which is what I said.
No. But it was the way you said it. You set me up for failure. So I go to see this guy and I go in, hi, my name is Monica from physical therapy. I came to do an evaluation on you that the doctor's ordered. Is that okay? And he's like, first of all, you're going to have to slow down. And I'm like, okay, not a problem.
He just likes me. I don't know what's wrong with you. We had a good time.
So I said, okay, no problem. I'll slow down a little bit. Obviously, when you tell me to slow down, I'm going to talk faster because now you've broken my concentration.
On you.
But that's just my brain. That's the way my brain works. And so the guy says, so I said to him, all right, well, I'm going to go over some questions, just kind of about your home life and things that you were. Now, I'm just going to need you to go ahead and slow down because I can't hear what you are saying. And I was like, sir.
This is an older white man. For
yes. And then I told him, I was like, sir, you don't have to be rude because that's not the game we're playing. It's Friday. I wasn't rude to you. Don't be rude to me or else this evaluation is going to be done. And he's like, I'm just saying, I've asked you multiple times. This is the second time you're asking me to slow down and I'm trying my best to slow down my verbiage so that you may be able to understand what I'm saying.
You caught him on an off day. He's great.
Listen. Then the man starts, so we get over that little hump. And so he's like, I apologize. I'm so sorry. It's just been a lot going on. And I'm like, it's totally fine, sir. Let's just start over. Hi, I'm Monica from physical therapy. I literally gave my whole spiel over again. So we get through it. He apologizes. And then he starts talking about what he used to do for a living, that he has, he comes from a family of doctors and they all geniuses, and that he has a PhD in artificial intelligence. Please let me know.
I'll tell the audience, I didn't get half this information.
Listen, this man, first of all, please let me know in the comments if there is a such thing as a PhD in artificial intelligence. I have never heard of it, but it's not saying that it's not there. And he also told me that, he had a contract. He literally said, well, I signed a 14-year contract of secrecy with this company because I used to work for AT&T and I went to go fix one of the towers. And when the guy had the door open, it was literally like a silver boomerang looking device with the biggest chains I've ever seen chained to the floor. And it was just floating in the air. And the guy who was in charge came over there and was like, God damn it, I told y'all to keep this door closed. And that day they made me sign a 14-year contract of secrecy and it's literally up this month.
And now we're a conspiracy theory podcast.
Exactly. And so he just started telling me, he was like, honey, if I told you all the stuff I saw in my life being an artificial intelligence doctor and I worked for the military and all this other kind of stuff. And I was just like, tell me about Area 51. He was like, oh, it's real.
I'll say this about that. I thought artificial intelligence wasn't up and coming until like the last 10 years.
That's the same thing I said.
But I could also be just, me, a normal civilian person.
This man is like late 70s, early 80s. So I was just like, that's very interesting.
Yeah, I'll never, he could know more than I could. I just, in my head, artificial intelligence means like robots and shit.
Well, then he also told me too that I reminded him of his niece who's half black. And I'm like, why do patients out there in America, why do you feel the need to tell me a story about another black person as if I know all black people? And I remind you of your niece because she is so funny or she talks fast or she's fat or something, because then that's relatable. Why does it have to be about the color of my skin? You know what? There was this nice woman I met, colored girl. What?
That's my favorite.
I haven't been colored since 1960 something.
My favorite is that I'm actually half black. He didn't fucking tell me anything about his niece.
I guess he doesn't like you. He saw the white in you. I guess he did.
Yeah. Well, he gave me some lip at the beginning and I was like, no, sir, that's not what we're going to do. Yeah. He was like, all right.
So yeah, this is misleading coworkers where you basically, you're gonna discharge
because he
him,
was
Monica.
fine. He didn't tell me. Swear
he's super fine.
I saw him for all of 10 minutes. I walked in, he did everything I needed, no help at all. And I was like, perfect, goodbye, sir.
I was in his room for 27 minutes because he was telling me about the aliens he knew about and who's are his friends.
Dude, did I ever tell you about the patient that told me about the sound bowls and how he had been to different countries and how he looks up conspiracy theories?
Did somebody tell you to go in there and see him because he was independent?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't misled.
Oh, okay.
I was just taken aback.
I'm glad that you were not misled because I was. But then also mental health in your job.
I'll say this about that.
Yeah.
I know everyone at home's wondering how this job has affected my mental health. It's poorly. First of all.
Your job or your mental health?
My mental health.
Oh, okay.
This job is emotionally exhausting. People just like divulge secrets and family truths and deep inner thoughts, shit that they haven't told anybody else, that they're like, oh, finally you're here and you asked about it. Let me tell you everything. And you have to be like, not upbeat about it, but you have to be understanding and just like, I understand. I get it. I told bull.
You have to be a psychologist and a therapist.
It's freaking exhausting, especially on, listen, I totally understand that people need to have an outlet, right? I get it.
Yeah.
But it's exhausting to have 8-9 patients a day and for you to go in there for all of them to just unload their shit on you and for you to take it and be like, I completely understand, and how can I form this into something positive so we can
while you see them actively dying.
But you're like, I have to transform this into something that can motivate you to get you up and make you physically better. And it's freaking exhausting.
Yeah.
Second of all, my ego is so fucked now because I go into these rooms of like 50, 60, 70-year-old men. All I do is flirt with you. And I think I'm hot shit. And then I come out to the real world with people my age. I don't get flirted with like that. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? It's not what's wrong with them. It's what's wrong with me.
It's because they're looking for a caregiver.
Literally. I'm like, I am hot shit in this hospital. Everywhere I go in, every man I see compliments me, tells me something nice about myself, tells me how great I'm doing, that they're the best person they've seen all day.
He also may just want extra like cranberry juice and graham crackers.
That's what I'm saying.
Or he may think you have Percocets in your pocket.
I'm just like, sir, stop. Oh my God, you're crazy.
Yeah. They may think that you have extra Percocet. Listen, the same thing used to happen when I used to work in a prison. So I used to work in a prison, right? And
she was in prison.
I was not in prison. I used to work there. I literally clocked in and clocked out and went home. And when I worked in this particular prison, it was a male maximum security prison in South Florida. And what was funny was these guys would flirt with you. They notice everything about you.
Isn't it? I'm just like, sir.
When you lose weight, you change your hair. Oh my God, you have such a beautiful smile. And you were just probably crying before you came to work. Oh my God, I'm so ugly. And then this guy who's in prison is just like, oh my God, you're the most beautiful woman that I've seen. And you're just like, oh, thank you. But you got to say no.
You have to. Y'all, the other day I came back. I was on the floor. I came back to the office and I was like, do y'all think it'd be crazy if I dated someone who's 60 years old? Because my patient was 60 years old, flirting the shit out of me. And I was like, damn, is 60 to 26 really that bad of a jump?
It's not. Anna Nicole did it.
I mean, yeah, but look how that turned out.
She was a millionaire.
But I'm just like, you're around these old men all the time. Am I attracted to them? No. But they're just telling you sweet nothing.
They're charmers.
All of them. They're all charmers. You would think they're polygamous.
Yeah.
Or just play. They're just charming the shit out of you.
And then sometimes they like, especially when you're trying to help them stand and they'll like mistakenly touch your butt or something. And you're just like, all right, Mr. Johnson. You just, oh, I'm so sorry. I remember I had this one little Irish man. He was a veteran and he did have dementia. And so every time I tried to help him stand, he kept like tapping my butt and was like, oh, sweet dearie, sweet dearie. And I'm like, you got one more time to touch my butt, dude. At least take me to dinner first before you start feeling on me, okay?
They're like, are you coming back to see me? Am I going to see you tomorrow?
I know. And they want you to come. I don't want you to leave.
I'm like, sir, stop it. I haven't had this attention in a while. It's dangerous.
But here, but on the flip side, especially these female female patients without male therapists. Like there's one particular therapist that we have in our department.
With the male therapists are even worse.
They're horrible. We have this one therapist who every female in the hospital will do anything for him because they think he's so gorgeous. Smoke show. And this one patient, I think she was like, oh, when OT was seeing her, she's like, oh, is so-and-so coming to see me today? Let me put on my fancy robe. And she would literally turn her gown around and so that the front part of the gown would be open.
And this physical therapist had told the occupational therapist, like, hey, can you do dressing with her or something when you go in? Because I just come in, I feel so bad. Her gown is always open to the front. And the OT was like, really? I've never seen that. But like next time I go, I'll check it out. The OT tells her, do you want physical therapist going to see you. Do you want me to help you fix your gown? She's like, oh, no, I have to get my gown right for the therapist that's coming, the physical therapist, and fucking had her tatas out for this man
on purpose,
y'all. And you can't go to work with that 5 days a week, have that energy, and then you come home on the weekend. You're like, all right, well. Some guy comes up to me in a bar. I'm like, no, you have to come 150. Seriously. Because I have a 75-year-old man right now at the hospital waiting for my ass who will tell me everything I need to hear.
All I gotta do is come some graham crackers.
All I gotta do is just be like, let's get out of bed, sir, you and me. Let's sit on the edge of this bed.
It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
And that's on my self-esteem.
But it's amazing. It's crazy the dynamic that you go through from your first patient of the day, great patient, they're doing awesome. Second patient's dying. Third patient makes you laugh your ass off. Fourth patient's dying. Fifth patient is an asshole. Sixth patient is great. Seventh patient, they're near death. And you're just like, you go through all of these ranges of emotions all within an 8-hour period of time, plus deal with all the expectations that you have in your department, plus deal with shitty leadership and or great leadership.
Who you are in each room. Yeah. For one person,
you're a puppet.
You have to be like high energy, get them up, get them moving. For one person, they're fucking depressed. You got to bring it down to their level so they can understand you. For the other person, they're having weird dynamics with the family that's in the room. So you got to play mediator between them. For it's exhausting. No one told me I was signing up to be a fucking therapist.
Yeah. This is why when I come home, I will take a shower, I eat, and then I go to sleep. And I take naps. This is why I take naps at 6:30 at night.
Yo, it's a lot. And listen, when you work in a hospital, unfortunately, everyone is dying. So I feel like as immune to death we are, and as like emotionally blunt to death we are, it's still, we don't realize it's just exhausting.
Yeah, it is, because you have to kind of process it in your psyche. And this is why dark humor just follows us. And even on this podcast, we can laugh at death to a degree. And it's not that we're making fun or light of it, but in order to process it in your brain,
to keep from crying.
You really do. And I mean, some of the things that you go through, like Alyssa and I had the pleasure of co-evaling this week. Oh my God.
Yeah, she was the best day of her life, y'all.
No, we co-evaled this one patient who was a fresh heart transplant. And so the patient, we were walking in the hallway, and this patient says, what did he actually say?
This is what happened, y'all. I have to keep
She has no filter.
I have no filter. I try really hard in the hospital. I really do, because I know it's bad with these patients. But for the most part, I'm just like, we got to keep it light and funny because you're close to death. Yeah. And hopefully we're going to meet you on the good side, but you could pass over to the wrong side. So this patient's walking in the hall. I haven't co-treated Monty in a while. Yeah. Right. So we're getting into the groove. We get this guy out in the hall. He's walking. We do a couple laps, and he was like, do we go one more? Monty said, we can go one more. We can stop. I'm down for whatever you're down for. Like, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. He said, well, I think we could do one more lap. And I said, famous last words, sir.
Literally, this man had a heart transplant 3 days ago. And she's like, famous last words. And he's like, yeah, with my look, I'll probably pass out on the floor. And I'm like, sir, it is Friday. Okay. You will not be passing out, because I will not be doing it. And then Alyssa goes to say, well, sir, you won't be falling today because we don't want to do any extra paperwork because it's Friday. And I agree. I'm not doing extra paperwork. She's like, because we're trying to get out of here on time, even though she jinxed the both of us. And then I was like, she's like, knock on something. So literally I had to knock on the drywall.
I was just like, sir, listen, I made it this whole year without a fall. We're not falling today. I'm not trying to stay any later than I need to. Go walk to that window. We're coming back. And
she like, literally jinxed that. Sir, I've survived a whole year out of school without a fall. Great. Now he's going to fall and bust his head to be a subdural hematoma. Thanks a lot.
You got to read your patients. I read that patient and I was like, we can joke around and we're going to get this done.
Yeah.
And it motivated him, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You scared the crap out of him.
I probably scared the crap out of him.
I was like, this
but
is
sometimes
taking a
you're
turn.
just so tired. That's like I got in the elevator and I was just so tired. And there was a patient in a stretcher in the elevator. And I said, how are you doing, sir? He's like, I'm good. How are you? And as the elevator door opens, I'm like, I'm good. I'll be better when I can get out of here at 4 p.m. And I walk out. And then I walk out and I'm thinking, damn, you can't leave at 4 p.m.
No,
You're
can't.
stuck in this shit. That was so fucked up to tell you.
But you know what? I use that as a manipulation tactic for my patients all the time when they don't want to participate. And I'm like, listen, you are stuck in this hospital with horrible food. And you know what I get to do? I literally get to go home every single day and I get to sleep in my Tempur-Pedic mattress. And you're stuck here on a twin bed.
And that's not freedom.
So do you want to get out of here or not? It's a little flex, but you got to do it. I'm like, I literally get to go home and I can eat whatever I want. I can watch my 65-inch screen TV in the comforts of my own home in AC. And you got to sit over here and share a room with Mr. Johnson, who keeps farting all day. Do you want to get up or not?
Let's get up and get out of here.
Let's get up. And then when you put it in that perspective, they're like, fine, I'll do it.
I want Chick-fil-A, damn
Yeah.
it.
It's like, thank you. Thank you very much.
People will move mountains for Chick-fil-A.
They really will. They really will. Oh, speaking of mountains, well, not mountains, or just Chick-fil-A. Anyway, this one patient.
Chicken nugget mountains?
This patient loved Chick-fil-A. We actually, so this week I had a really great experience. There was one patient who actually, this week there was a patient that actually came back. They were positive for COVID and on ECMO. And this is a patient that we had to fight with so much. And I literally had to use that tactic on her with regard to, you want people wiping your butt for the rest of your life? I get to go home to my plush bed and you're stuck in here in a twin bed. But she would only cooperate.
In a loving way.
In a loving way, yes. And I have to scream because I was in an N95 and a face shield.
Yeah, so it sounds like,
and a gown. Exactly. It definitely sounded like wah, 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 wah. So she would only cooperate for like Chick-fil-A.
Me as a patient.
Yeah, but then she would waste it. Like the nurses would literally order like Uber Eats, Chick-fil-A to the hospital and give it to her, and she would waste the fries. And I used to be sitting there like,
and she would waste the fries.
I love Chick-fil-A fries with Polynesian sauce, and I'm just like, you just wasted these fries, and I can't eat them because you got COVID, so I can't eat your fries. So that was, but anyway,
would be me. Like, when you just want a bite of one thing, and you're like, I'm not doing it until I get that one.
Well,
bite.
You don't eat anyway, so that's part of the problem. Alyssa's very wasteful when it comes to food, but anyway. But yeah, she came back to the hospital and she literally thanked, our team for helping to save her life. And she made like this plaque and everything. And she was just really grateful. And she was just like, I know I gave you guys a hard time and you used to yell at me every day, but I'm so thankful. And I was just like, that's why I do what I do, man. So why I do what I do. So
I know I'm not a parent, but I imagine it's what a parent feels like to yell at this person every day about something that they think is not important, but you're like, I know how this could benefit your life, and you just got to do it.
Yeah, and you yell at them for years.
Yeah,
and then they come back as an adult and say, you know what?
Oh my God, thank you.
Thanks for whooping my ass, Mom.
Bed every day because
exactly.
they taught me organization and dedication and blah, blah, blah.
Thanks for whooping my ass, Mom.
But I'm like, hey, you just need to get up out of bed. Just move your ass, please.
Yeah, just get up.
You and me.
Go take a bath. Clean your room. Let's go. Wash your hair. And that's on OT.
That's on OT, baby.
Yeah.
ADLs.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's all I got for today.
All right, folks. Well, that's it for this episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Tune in next week where we explore patio furniture, cinnamon raisin bread,
asystole,
and vacuum cleaners.
Just to name a few.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great one. We'll see you next Tuesday.
What's love got to do? Got to do with it.
I'm keeping this in the podcast. I hope you know that. Oh, no. I'm not editing it out. Nope.
Cut. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.